I'm going to show you how to assemble IKEA MALM chest of 6 drawers, 2 small drawers on the top, 4 bigger ones under it. Let's do it. And you're getting 3 boxes with this IKEA MALM chest of 6 drawers, useful tools, bigger and smaller electric screwdriver with a hammer and measuring tape. If you're working on a hardwood floor, the knee pads are useful to protect your knees. And usually I open the biggest box, and if I have hardwood floor, I just put it under where I'm working, so I'm not gonna scratch the floor. I'm just gonna open all 3 boxes quickly, just for you to see how much stuff you're getting. This is the manual instructions, which you're not gonna need if you're gonna follow this video here. So this is the biggest cardboard from the biggest box. I put it under it, so I'm not gonna scratch the wooden floor. That's applied to laminated floor as well. If you have a carpet, you're okay to work on a carpet without it. And this is the second box. Just open it quickly. I see something wrong here, so just in case you're getting this, I'm gonna offer you a quick solution. You don't need to return anything. So you see the front panel have the edge is not cut properly, so it's sticking out. So if you have a carpet knife or chisel, just cut it off and you're gonna be good to go. No need to return that. You see the edge is now nice and cut where it's supposed to be. Sometime when you find one, you're gonna find more. So let's see how the other box is gonna be, if it's gonna be the same problem. And this is the third box. Let's open it quickly up. And we have exactly the same problem in the box number 3. You see the edge going over the side, the tape going over the side. So I'm just gonna cut it here with the carpet knife, or if you have a chisel, that's good as well to take it off. It's a bit hard, but just go on the edge of the tape, don't scratch it. The other one, so just make a nice corner, and there you go. No need to return for nothing. Can fix it quickly. Some small problems. I think we may have a bit more problems here with this box. We have already 2 of them, so there's instructions for the drawers. You're not going to need it as well. Let's see how the other panels go. I think we're going to have some problems with the side panels as well. Let's see. So just in case you have it, you're gonna know what to do with it. I'm gonna show you in a moment. So this is the metal parts which you're gonna need. You just open everything up, put it on the side, box with the screws and rails, few brackets, and that's the rails. So you have bag number 1, and this one is for the wall fixing. I'm gonna show you that at the end. And the rails, a few brackets. Gonna open the bag number 1. I like to organize them so I know better what I'm working with this way. Sometimes the sizes are very similar. You see the head on the right is smaller than one on the left. Just put them separately so you're not gonna make mistake while assembling the furniture. Okay, we have side panels now here, and here I see there is more problems. You see the tape is kind of off here. Luckily it's in a place where it's gonna be the front panels, so you're not gonna see it. Let's see, this one is gonna have the same problem. This one seems okay. So sometimes it happens, but in this case we're gonna use those screws. In this case is no big deal, as it would be completely covered by the bottom panel. So we're going with those screws here in those holes. So just position your panels exactly the same as I do it here, and go just till the stopper with those screws. This is the point which I'm referring to as a stopper. So just till that, not deeper and not higher. The best thing is, if you follow this video from A to Z, position the panels exactly as I have it here, so you're not gonna make mistake. It's easier to follow this way. So we're gonna put those screws along the front side. So you see the front sides, they have the taped edge, so that's the fronts, and they are facing each other, so we basically mirror the panels. One screw in the bottom corner of each of the side panels, just till the stopper, same as all of them, and one on the middle on the outer side for each side panel. In total you will have 4 at the front and 2 at the back. Now we're gonna have those legs. This is the plastic legs. Just gonna tap them in at the bottom. Just slide them in. You see this is the problematic panel there, but later on you're gonna see it's gonna be completely covered, so that's luckily in a place where it's not gonna be visible. Another 2 for the other side. There's no screws, no glue, just tap them in, and the weight of the drawer will just keep them in place. Now we're gonna have those panels. It's 4 of them. You're gonna need wooden plugs. Those 4 panels are identical, exactly the same. So 1 wooden plug on each side of this slim panel. If the wooden plug go too easy in the wrong position, so go to the smaller hole. Exactly the same on the other side, the smaller holes, and place the wooden plugs in. Secure them with a hammer. Now we have 4 of these ready. Now we're gonna have plastic locks, and on each lock there is an arrow. This is the arrow on the lock where is the opening. So the arrow, that's the opening in the lock. So the arrow on the lock pointing to the front hole. This rule gonna apply to all plastic or metal locks we're gonna put in this video. That rule actually apply for all the IKEA furniture. So arrow facing to the front hole. One side, 4 of them. See, that's where it's supposed to face. And we're gonna do exactly the same on the other side. 4 plastic locks facing to the front hole. If you put them other way around, you twist them around, you're not gonna be able to secure the connection, as the opening on the lock is exactly where the arrow is. So now we're gonna go with those small ones and we're gonna secure them with the side panels at the front, slide it into the screw and the wooden plug in the hole. Exactly the same second one, and the collar part is at the front as it's gonna face, as it's gonna be visible. So the plain part is at the back. Slide it all in. Be gentle here, go slowly, as this is very fragile at this point till it's not secured. Once you're done, you can secure the lock by twisting them to the right side. This electric screwdriver is extremely useful. You can adjust the torque so you never overrun the locks or screws. And those plastic locks, they are a bit fragile as well if you go too heavy on it when you're securing the connection. Now we're gonna have this one looks similar but slightly different. Have 2 holes here on the plain side, and this side is colored. So this one, we're gonna leave it on the side, so don't make mistake. It looks similar but slightly different from those 4. And now we have those 2 panels. They are plain on both sides. You're gonna need 4 wooden plugs and 4 plastic locks. And we place 1 wooden plug on each side of these slim panels. And now we have these plastic locks. And we're gonna do exactly the same. We place them in, an arrow pointing to the front hole. Other side, exactly the same, arrow pointing to the front hole. I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but this is important. If you make mistake, then you have a lot of connection, you're gonna lose the control where you are. So if you do the beginning right, the end part when it's coming in, gonna be nice and easy. Everything sliding in nicely. So the top one first and the bottom one second one, slide it all the way in. Make sure there is no gap between the panels. And now we can twist the lock to the right side to secure the connection. Now we have all 6 of them locked. This is the bottom panel. There is 1 colored side here on the front, plain side at the back and the edge, and 1 colored side on the front. 2 brackets, and they're coming in this way. Just slide them in into the middle hole. Other one exactly the same. Slide it in. Now we have 4 of those small screws. Check which screws are they in the booklet. This is the one with the bigger head, so we're gonna secure each bracket with 2 of these screws. Don't make mistake and don't use the smaller ones, otherwise you're gonna miss them somewhere else. So this is the one with the bigger head. Now the plain side, 2 plastic legs, and they're coming in exactly the same way as on the side panels. Just slide them in, secure them with hammer, not with your fist of course. And now we can turn it this way so you can see it better. So here is the problematic part, and this is the front panel which is gonna cover the broken tape there on the edge of the side panel. Just place it in and secure it. Secure it with the 2 screws, exactly the same screws. So that's the small screw with a bigger head. Now that one is secured. They're still fragile, so be careful with when you're gonna move this thing around before you connect the top part. Now we're gonna add second side panel. And now you're gonna have to find all the holes at the same time. So if you have another person, it would be useful, but you can do it alone. As you can see, if I can do it, everyone can. So I just fix the back first. And then I focus on the front. Of course, I'm holding with one hand, and with the other hand, I'm adjusting the thing. This is easily can go down, so watch out. Those slim panels are very fragile at this point. So find all the holes at the same time. Once you're in, it's just gonna pop in automatically. And then you can just tap it from the top. Once you're in a good position in all of them. At this point, if something doesn't go in completely, don't go hard. Just check if the arrow is in the right position, because if you made mistake and you didn't put the arrow, you're not gonna be able to close the gap between the panels completely. So make sure you did everything right at the beginning, and now you have no problems. Now we have another 2 screws. This is the one with the bigger head. And they're coming in. If you're not sure from the video which screws I'm using, just go back to the booklet, check it out. But this is exactly the same screws, the 2 small screws with the bigger head for the bracket. And now we secure all the other connections by twisting the plastic locks to the right side. Now this frame gonna get stronger, but still there is no back panel and the top panel yet. So you see I'm lifting it up with the 2 hands. The safer option would be to put it face down and lift it up this way. But I did this so many times, so I'm confident I can do it. Just release the pressure by lifting it up with the 2 hands and slowly turn it this way. Now we're gonna have the top panel, which we're gonna work on. So one side is plain, one side is with the holes, at the back is plain. The front and edges have the tape. So we're gonna put it this way. So it's upside down now. Now we have this small panel, which is very similar to the dividing panels, but slightly different. Have 2 holes on the edge, 2 wooden plugs coming in to those 2 holes. We're gonna need those screws, so 6 of them. Exactly the same screws as we use on the side. So if you remember, go just till the stopper, not deeper, not higher. There's gonna be 2 on the each side and 2 on the middle. So 6 of them together. Now place the slim panel in, 2 wooden plugs coming into the holes, and the plain part is towards me, so the front on the other side is colored. So that's gonna be the visible part. You have 2 L-shaped brackets, 2 screws. Those are different from the ones for the brackets what we did before. This is the small screw with a smaller head. So we're gonna secure each bracket with 2 of these screws. Now we can put this top panel on the side. Now we're gonna have this dividing panel. This is the panel which is gonna be on the middle. One side plain, one side color with this gap on the edge. Here holes for the rails, and we're gonna add the rails in. So the rail is marked CL and CR. CL and CR. L is left one, R is right one. If you don't know which one going where, left and right one. Here on the top as well, another mark. So you're gonna have the smallest screws in the box with the flat head, and that's going in to secure this rail. Make sure the head is completely in, not sticking out. Otherwise, when you're gonna close the drawer, you're gonna hear like a metal on metal sound. So make sure the heads are completely in. Other side, we're gonna do exactly the same. Don't put those rails upside down. So check where I'm putting left and right one. The wheel is at the bottom, there is a bit of space on the top of the wheel. That's the top part, so that's how it's supposed to be. 2 wooden plugs, they are bigger than those ones we used before. Secure them in with a hammer on the top side of this dividing panel. Now we can put this top panel down, and we secure this dividing panel. So the gap going exactly where is the slim panel. Find all 4 holes, 2 for wooden plugs, 2 for the screws, and secure it. And just tap it in. It's gonna pop in nicely. Don't use your hand like I do here. And we have metal locks. There's two of them, they are bigger, but exactly the same rule apply here. Arrow pointing to the screw or to the hole on the edge. Same with the second one, all the way in. Once you're in, secure the connection by twisting the lock to the right side. We have this bag, there is no number on it, but this is L-shaped bracket for wall fixing. I'm just gonna explain you quickly what you need to do if you're gonna fix this unit on the wall. There is hole here. See the bracket have a long hole. Put one washer and a screw, secure it, and depend if you have a skirting board, you can adjust how far you want to push that bracket out. If you don't have a skirting board, you just go like this. If you want to go completely flat on the wall, I'm gonna explain the wall fixing in a moment in more detail. Now we have this metal panel with the 4 screws, U-shape, and here is full, so the U-shape is up and the full part of this metal rail is at the bottom. Secure it here with the 4 screws. It's quite hard access to those, but if I can do it, you can do it. This small electric screwdriver is useful in tight places. You can get anywhere with it and is strong enough for the smaller screws. All the links for the tools, by the way, in the descriptions. Here, wooden plugs and plastic locks, 4 of them. 4 wooden plugs, 4 plastic locks. Secure them in, arrow pointing to the top this way, where the panel gonna come in, and secure the wooden plugs with the hammer on the top, 2 on each side. Now top panel coming in. Now we're gonna find all the holes at the same time. The plain side is at the back and the front is closer to me now. So the back first in, see it pop in already, and just make sure the front come in nicely as well. Here is how the edge is gonna look like. It has to come nice and easy, so don't put too much pressure while you're tapping it in. Everything should go just nice and smooth. If not, if you feel like a lot of resistance, just check it out. If you're in the right holes, check it out if your locks are turned to the right position. Okay, so that's how it's supposed to be. See no gaps at all in any parts on the side here as well, connecting nicely with that panel together. And now when there is no gap, we can secure the connection here as well by twisting the plastic locks to the right side. 2 on each side. Now we can put this unit down. Now it's much more steadier. And we're gonna add the back panel. One side have those cuts, one side not. So the cuts coming on the top side, that's where from the L brackets for the wall fixing gonna come through. Place it in. When I have the bigger units like this, I always make sure these are in the right position. So that's mean each corner is 90 degrees, and here is how you're gonna find out. Measure from corner to corner, and you should get exactly the same number. Once you have the same number, you can put the nails in and secure the back panel with the unit. Sometimes the units they twist slightly, so I do this all the time just to make sure the unit is in the right position. Then the drawers lining up nicely and everything is correct. So here on the middle, I just make a line and I put the nails there in the middle line as well, just to make it stronger. I don't think that's in the instruction, but I do that. And here on the middle as well, I always put 1 or 2, so the whole unit is secured properly. Now we can put this up, and this I'm gonna explain how to fix it to the wall. So that cardboard in my left hand, that's a fake wall. So here like this, you're gonna be on the wall. You're gonna mark the wall from inside with a pencil through the bracket. So the wall will be marked by pencil, so you know exactly where the hole is gonna go. So at that point you should have the unit exactly where you want to have it. Once you mark the wall, you drill the hole through the wall Choose the right wall plugs for your type of wall, place it in. It should be nice and tight, but not too tight. It has to come completely in. Screw with the washer long screw, which IKEA provide already, in the back, coming in through the bracket and coming to the wall plug. Those wall plugs, they are coming as well in the back with this unit. So secure together from inside and just tighten the screws, and the unit is secured to the wall. Now we have those rails and metal brackets here. We're gonna do the drawers so that each rail is taped together, and one is left and one is right, so you don't need to think about it which one coming together. So you just use always one. You're gonna have those screws. That's the fitting for the drawers. Now we can put this on the side. So you see the rails here. When you open them up, one is left and one is right. Exactly for all of them, yeah, so one left, one right. Now those two bags, they mark the number 2. It's exactly the same as you have a lot of drawers. Let's open them up. I organize the screws, as I always mention. As you're assembling, you made mistake with the different sizes of the screw like this. I figured out I made much less mistakes. Now we're gonna show you how to do the drawers. You're gonna have 2 different sizes of the drawers, one smaller, one bigger one. This is the front panels. We're gonna start with the bigger one. This is side panels. On the edge of the side panel you have one have a dot, one is without, so that's left and right. They already separated this way. Back panel, then you're gonna have bottom panel fittings, the rails, and the supporting rail for under, but we're gonna get to it in a moment. This is all the fittings you're gonna need, all the screws. We're gonna place first 4 screws in the front panel, so 2 on each side. Go just till the stopper, not deeper and not higher. Otherwise you're gonna have a problem to connect to the side panels. 2 small plastics. That's gonna reduce the noise when the drawer gonna close, as there is no soft closing in this chest of the drawer. 2 side panels. You're gonna place 4 wooden plugs on each of these side panels. Secure them with a hammer. 4 plastic locks. Place them in, and the arrow on the lock pointing to the front hole on the edge. Exactly the same on the other side. Place them in, and the arrow on the lock pointing to the front hole on the edge. The curved side on the top, the flat side at the bottom, and on the inner side there's gonna be gap on the side panels. This is the gap here, and the curved side is on the top. Place it in. Secure it by twisting the locks to the right side. This electric screwdriver have a torque, so I don't need to worry how hard I'm gonna go. It's already adjusted to the locks. Okay, small screw here at the back. Don't go all the way in. Slide the bracket in this way. If it's still not too tight, tighten it up a little bit more. And once there is like no gap, then you're in a good position. No gap, but you can push it out easily. That's what you want. So you can turn, but it would not rattle. That's what we basically want to achieve. Bottom panel, plain side at the bottom, colored side on the inner side, slide it into the gap. Back panel, gap coming into the bottom panel, and slide it in between the side panels into the both gaps on the sides. Slide it in. Once in the right position, you can secure it. 2 plastics securing the one side here. Slide them in. See, I'm holding with the other hand, so I'm pushing against it. Yeah, that hand is pushing against the hammer, so I'm not gonna just push it all the way back. Exactly the same on the other side. 2 plastics, they're gonna secure this side as well. See, I'm holding the unit with the other hand, so there is some resistance while I'm banging those plastics in. See, it pushed a little bit, but you can easily adjust it. Don't go all the way. Now we can put this way. We're gonna have 2 rails. One is left, one is right. The wheel have to be always at the back of the unit. So wheel at the back of the unit on one side, and exactly the same on the other side. You're gonna have 3 screws for each rails. That's the small screws with the flat head. And here exactly the same. Make sure the head is completely in, so it's not gonna scrape against the other rail on the drawer while you're sliding the drawer in. Exactly the same on the other side. 3 screws, the wheel at the back, and the heads of the screws are completely in. The last part is the bracket, which is gonna support the middle of the drawer, so you can load it heavier, slide it in, twist it this way. There is no hole on the top pre-drilled, so you're gonna have to drill that yourself. So here, if you have electric screwdriver, not gonna have any problem to go in. If you have just manual screwdriver, you're gonna have work a little bit harder here. And that's the drawer. That's the bigger one. You're gonna have 4 of these. And now we're gonna do the small one. So this is the front panel for the smaller drawer. 2 side panels, one with dot, one without. 1 back panel. This support rail you're not gonna need, that's just for bigger drawers. You're gonna need these rails, left and right. Bottom panel. All the fitting screws and everything you need for the small drawers here. We start with 4 screws. They go 2 on each side of the front panel. Just till the stopper, not deeper, not higher. 2 small plastics, that's gonna reduce the noise when the drawer closing, as there is no soft closing on these drawers. 2 side panels, gonna have 2 wooden plugs on each side. Secure them with a hammer. And now we can put 2 plastic locks for each side panels, arrow pointing to the front hole. You must be tired by this point, I'm saying that all the time, but it's important. Okay, let's go. So here, the round part on the top, the flat part at the bottom. Place it in. The locks are on the outer side. Secure the locks by twisting them to the right side. Back panel. One side is colored, one side is plain. The colored side's gonna come on the inner side. Back panel with the gap. Sliding in into the bottom panel and sliding in into the gaps on the side panels. That's how it is. It have to come all the way in for all 3 gaps, and now we are ready to attach those 2 plastics on each side, securing the side panels with the back panel. Exactly the same on the other side. Secure 2 plastic with a hammer from the side panel to the back panel. Rail, 1 left, 1 right. When you open the tape, wheel always at the back of the drawer unit. 3 screws for each rail. The screws have a flat head and the head have to come all the way in. Another one exactly the same. The wheel at the back. 3 screws. Secure it. And the smaller one is done as well. Now we can put them in. I'm going to show you how to put them in. I see in the comments people have a problem with this. So you see the front coming all the way down. It's touching the floor. So that's how you get over the wheels. You see how the front panel is all the way down. And that's how you get this gap here when you get over the wheel. If you lifting the front up, you're not going to be able to go through that slim panel. So once you're in over the wheel, lift it up and slide it in. Exactly the same here, over the wheel first, the front at this point is down. Now you can lift the drawer up and slide it in. There is like 2 stoppers that's gonna get over it, and you can slide it all the way in. See, now the front is up and I can slide it. I'm gonna show you a few different views as well, so you can understand. When you take it out, exactly the same. Point the front down once the drawer is completely, first lift it up and then point it down, and you can get over the slim panel. So that's how you slide it in. You lift the front up. One more time here, see, get over the wheel. Now lift it up. There is those 2 stoppers. Yeah, those 2, you have to get over it by lifting it up, and now we can put it down and just slide it. So those 2 stoppers are stopping the drawer from going all the way, like to crush the wheel or over the wheel when you would open it. So it's kind of stopper. Okay, so that's one. You have 4 of these big ones, so exactly the same with all of them. Front down first, over the wheel, slide it in. And the small ones, they're gonna go exactly the same. You see how low I am just to get over the wheel, and now I can lift it up once I'm over the wheel. lift it up for those stoppers and slide it in. And you want to take it out. Now lift it up. There is those 2 stoppers. You have to get over it by lifting it up. Lift it up first and then slide it down and take the drawer out. Once you're coming in, again, wheel over the wheel, the front down at this point, you see. And now once I'm over the wheel, I lift it up slightly, get over the stopper and close it in. Exactly the same, the last one. There you go. And that's it for IKEA MALM chest of 6 drawer assembly instructions. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If yes, thumbs up, subscribe to my channel as always. You will make my day. And see you in my next one very, very soon. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day.